Welcome to The Explainer. Listen, consider this an urgent, high-stakes briefing for US and UK corporate sales teams who are actively targeting European clients. If you've spent months, or maybe even years, courting a major account in Paris, Munich, or Milan, you know that every single touchpoint matters. But there's a silent relationship killer lurking right at the finish line, or maybe right in the middle of a big contract renewal, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your product or your pricing. It actually has everything to do with how you gift.
Think about this reality for a second. A gift that reads as generous in Chicago can read as crass in Lyon. This is the invisible threat we need to address today. A well-intentioned, beautifully wrapped gift that is culturally tone-deaf will quietly but severely damage those relationships you spent so much time building. The client won't complain. They'll smile and say thank you, but the next meeting will be just a little bit colder and you won't even know why. Well, let's fix that.
Okay, let's dive into this playbook. We're going to map out the cultural gifting minefield, run through the specific aesthetic and boundary tests for France, Germany, and Italy, outline our mandatory 7-point checklist, and finally, reveal the ultimate logistical solution.
Section 1. The cultural gifting minefield. Let's talk about cultural literacy.
Section 2. France, the aesthetic test and social currency.
So in Europe, quality is just the baseline. Cultural literacy is the real test. When you're gifting a client in Paris, Bordeaux, or Marseille, you absolutely need to understand that aesthetic judgment here is a powerful form of social currency. Let's look at the French pitfalls. The biggest mistake US and UK companies make? Sending branded merchandise. To a French client, a logo mug isn't a gift, it's basically a cheap marketing billboard. Another huge misstep is generic luxury, like those expensive supermarket chocolates. It just signals low effort. What works instead is genuine curation. Think artisan champagne from a highly respected house, or fine chocolates from a local producer. You want the gift to look like it was chosen by someone with impeccable taste, not just somebody armed with a big corporate budget.
Which brings us right to France's golden rule. Quality of curation matters far more than the price tag. A moderately priced, thoughtfully chosen hamper of artisan European goods beats a wildly expensive generic gift basket every single time. It shows you really know them and that you respect their culture's emphasis on true quality.
Section 3. Germany, precision and boundaries.
Over in Germany, business culture is built on reliability and very clear professional boundaries. Gifting is not a casual act here. Mistakes don't just say you have poor taste, they actively signal a lack of professional credibility. The quickest way to make a German client totally uncomfortable is by sending an overly personal item or gifting before establishing a real rapport. And please, absolutely no cheap branded pens. They literally view it as a careless rounding error. Instead, you want to advocate for high-quality, practical luxury. Choose items that are understated, cleanly packaged, and critically, like gourmet snacks, items that can easily be shared with their whole team. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the strategic importance of what we call occasion anchors. In Germany, sending a random, unsolicited gift mid-year feels super presumptuous. You need an anchor like Christmas, year-end, or a major deal closing. Italy is incredibly similar. Gifts are tied closely to occasions like Christmas, Easter, or big client anniversaries. If you just send something randomly without a clear occasion, it creates awkwardness rather than warmth. Timing your deliveries is just as crucial as the item itself.
If you remember just one thing for Germany, make it this: understatement wins. The margin for error is razor thin here. It's always safer to choose restraint and practical luxury. Let the sheer quality of the item do the talking, and keep that presentation impeccably clean.
All right, Section 4. Italy, the presentation imperative.
If Germany is all about boundaries, Italy is where design, craft, and visual intelligence are foundational business expectations. The most common mistake made by Anglo-American companies here is neglecting the packaging. Listen, you can have the finest item in the world, but if it arrives in a mediocre box, it's a failure. Another major error is a careless wine selection. Sending generic supermarket wine to an Italian client is like sending cheap cheese to the French. Just don't do it. What works is the full premium experience, beautifully crafted unboxing, premium European provenance, and absolutely impeccable packaging perfectly tied to a clear occasion. So the crucial point is this: Italy's golden rule dictates that presentation is not decoration, it is content. The whole shebang, the box, the ribbon, the tissue paper, carries exactly as much weight as the gift itself. If you wouldn't be proud to put the unopened box right in the window of a high-end Milanese boutique, you need to rethink your choice.
Section 5. The 7-point gifting checklist. What you have to do before you send.
Every account executive needs to use this exact pre-send protocol to prevent those relationship-damaging faux pas. Let's walk through the first 4 steps. 1. Verify local artisan quality. Would a specialist in their own country stock this item? 2. Align your timing with a clear occasion anchor. 3. Ensure the packaging matches the market, restrained for Germany, tasteful for France, impeccable for Italy. And 4. Exclude branded merchandise entirely as the primary gift. Seriously, no logos.
Rounding out our checklist, 5. Always accommodate local dietary needs. Germany, for instance, is highly dietary aware. 6. This is a huge one. Ship from within the EU to avoid customs delays. We're going to talk a lot more about this in a second. And 7. Match your accompanying message to the relationship stage. Keep it warm but professional and never overly intimate early on in the relationship.
Section 6. The solution. Enter Walwater Gifts. Now you might be wondering, wow, this sounds incredibly complex, and you're right. But the simplest fix doesn't require you to become some sort of cultural anthropologist, it just requires a specialized European gifting partner. Enter Walwater Gifts. They seamlessly deliver to 26 European countries. Why does this matter so much? Because they're physically based right in Slovenia, which means they operate entirely within the European Union, completely eliminating all that cross-border friction.
And this brilliantly illustrates their ultimate logistical advantage. Operating out of Slovenia means shipping via intra-EU logistics rails, so Walwater entirely eliminates the cross-border customs nightmares that totally plague US and UK companies. There are no health certificate holds, and most importantly, there are no import VAT surprises landing right on your client's desk. Because let's face it, asking your client to pay a tax just to receive your gift is an absolute disaster. Plus, they curate specifically for these local European tastes, and there are 0 mandatory minimum order sizes.
Let's quickly map Walwater's top-selling baskets to the exact market strategies we just covered. For Germany's need for practical, shareable understatement, the sweet and savory basket is a perfect fit. For the high curation and presentation tests of France and Italy, the premium gift hamper passes with flying colors. Got a major deal closing? You deploy the ravishing success basket. For that unambiguous executive prestige that is recognized absolutely everywhere, the Veuve Clicquot basket is flawless. And for a restrained, polite expression of appreciation, Sweet Thanks hits exactly the right note.
So I want to leave you with this provocative question to take back to your sales team. Are your business gifts speaking the right language, or are they silently undermining all your hard work? Don't leave your most important European relationships to chance or generic catalogs. Take action, secure your cultural compliance, and order your corporate gift hampers through Walwater Gifts to guarantee your generosity actually translates into lasting partnerships.